Brian is very passionate about his next topic. It's not quite a normal dinner time conversation, but even Brian's dinner time conversations are a bit out of the norm. Brian is giving a 10 to 12 minute speech from the Specialty Speeches Manual, Sell a Product. The Sergeant of Arms should note that Brian asks everyone, please put away any cameras, as pictures are strictly forbidden and not allowed to be taken of the product he will be selling today. Please remember that while this is an unpleasant topic, Brian's intention is to present this in order to actually help others. He also suggests you finish your breakfast quickly. The title of Brian's speech, Never Too Cool for a Stool. Oh, no! Brian Linder.
So there I was, on what looked like an operating table. I was on my back, and my feet were up in the air. It looked like I was about to have a baby. Oh, and I had a tube stuck straight up my butt. The other end was tied to a machine, and right when the nurse turned on the machine, I thought, dear God, how did I get here? And then it hit me, marriage. Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I was not blessed with a lot of things when I was born. I'm not the brightest guy in the room. Never have been. I'm not extremely athletic. Was never the most athletic guy in the room. And I was born with a very weak colon. In all seriousness, not joking, I was born with a very weak colon. When I was growing up, I would go sometimes 2 or 3 days without having a movement. Now, at the time, I was kind of proud of the efficiencies. I was super efficient at my work. No wasted time. But really, that's really not very healthy. And it was when I got married that my wife took a lot of concern with this, because she's younger than I am, and she's worried that I will not outlive her. So she started to take a lot of interest in this, and that's when I started learning a lot about colon health. And that's when I really started learning about the colon. Now, the colon is the last end of the digestive tract. And it's about 5 feet long, which is about the same size as everyone here. It starts here, it goes up, then it goes around, then it goes down, and then it goes out. Now, and it's a muscle, right? So it can be either really strong or it can be really weak. Now, Americans today, our diet is so poor. It's so nutrient deficient and so much junk. Many people today have very weak colons. I was born with one, and my diet really is not helping that out at all. So, what does that mean for people here today? Well, how many of you knew that colon cancer is the #2 cause of cancer? It's #2 cause of cancer in the world. 150,000 people 150,000 Americans every year get colon cancer. And of those, 1/3 will die. Now, the thing with the colon is that the colon's job is to absorb water as your food goes through it. And if your food's not moving through it quickly enough, your colon can reabsorb a lot of the poisons that it's supposed to be getting rid of. So it's very important that everyone here has a very healthy colon. Many people, many leading physicians and doctors today believe that all sickness in modern man starts with the colon. If that gets backed up, it's like a muffler in a car. If the muffler gets backed up, the driver's not going to be doing real well. So many doctors feel it's the very same thing with the colon. So, what can we do about it? Well, everyone knows it's important to eat fiber, right? It's important to drink a lot of water. I'm not here to tell you anything new there. There are a thing called probiotics, which are just amazing things. I came across those recently, they're amazing. But it doesn't address the most important thing that blew my mind when I actually realized it. And it's the fact that man did not evolve to sit on a toilet when he was using the restroom.
Oh.
Mr. Healy, how did man evolve to make a number 2? Squat and drop. That's right. Now, without being too graphic. Man has evolved to squat with the knees like this, with the thighs up against the stomach, pressing against the colon, squeezing the colon together, and squeezing the colon together. Now man has evolved for hundreds of thousands of years to do that and to be able to look over his shoulder. Modern man sits like this. Many of us like this. More recently, Mr. Randall like this. Now, this is not how we evolved over time. It's just not. It's only been in the last few hundred years. And that's not a good thing for us. Now, I didn't come across this until my wife talked me into getting a colonic. And I will not spare anyone, or I will not bear anyone with the details of what a colonic is. Just leave it to say that these people are the New Age specialists of the butt. I mean, they know everything. I mean, it's unbelievable the things that they know. And it was there, after I was getting done with one of my treatments, and I went into the bathroom, and I noticed this thing there. And I said, man, I gotta try this. This looks interesting. And it blew my mind away. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I ran out of that store. I mean, I didn't walk, I ran. I jumped into my car. I sped to the Home Depot. I got my materials. My wife called, honey, I can't talk, I'm busy. Okay, leave me alone. Went to the Home Depot, got my materials, went home. Went to the garage, worked in the garage all night. I mean, I pulled an all-nighter. Working, hammering, nailing, sawing, doing all these things to build it. And that's what I'm here to share with all of you today. And I call it the Stool. Behold, it's made from the finest pine, it's made from the finest American wood. It has been custom crafted to make sure that all of the angles of the colon are hit properly when one is using the restroom. Now notice how it slides into the toilet perfectly when you're not using it, but when you are using it, you just pull it out and you put your feet on it. And it actually presses your feet or your thighs, it presses them up against your stomach and your body, and more importantly, your colon, just like you would if you were squatting in the woods. Sounds pretty basic, right? The results? I mean...